Welcome back, everybody, to SportsTownChicago.com's coverage of Chicago Cougars hockey against the Dells Ducks. Cougars down 1-0. Ducks with the lead. What did you see, Chris and Tegan, there in that first period that the Cougars need to improve on?
Well, I definitely think puck possession time was one thing that kind of favored the Ducks a little bit more, but also it was just time in your own zone. There's a lot of time spent in the neutral zone, it felt like to me, Tegan, more than anywhere else for both teams, though, really, not just the Cougars for that one, but still, for the Cougars especially, more time in your offensive end needs to happen.
Absolutely. I mentioned it before that the Dells Ducks forecheck is just aggressive and really just looks amazing right now. The Cougars kind of skating around nonchalantly in their own zone with the puck. We saw a couple turnovers deep in their own zone. That has to stop. That can't happen, especially against this Dells Ducks team. But the Ducks forced those turnovers.
Yeah, they did. And looking really quickly again, this is the goal here that we saw scored. I mean, that's a shot from an area on the ice that's well above the circles when that shot's taken. That's a shot that Jesse Heise needs to save, and it's a simple adjustment for him. We saw the replays earlier before where you get a really good view of just Jesse, and you see that he tries to reach over with his glove hand. That is not going to get you a lot of saves, especially with guys who have a pretty good wrister at this level. So that's one thing that needs to happen moving forward, at least for Jesse Heise. I mean, he's played a good game other than that.
Tegan, you mentioned your number one key to the game tonight was goaltending. Jesse Heise and that goal that Chris just went over, and Jared Young, the goaltender for the Dells, saving all 7 shots the Cougars had on goal.
Jared Young still yet to lose. The Cougars yet to lose 15-0. Here's the thing. The Cougars are used to dominating shots on goal. Here tonight it's 11-7 Ducks. Thus why they have a 1-0 lead right now. Do the Ducks just keep firing shots on goal, even if it is from close to the blue line here, like we saw that late goal that the Ducks had. Just keep firing shots on goal, staying aggressive. We're seeing a lot of line changes, trying to get fresh legs out there because these two teams match up so well together. Cody, you said it's like looking in a mirror. It almost is. Both these teams have eerily a lot of similarities on the ice together.
It was a clean game, too. I mean, that's what you expect from two high-skilled teams, and there won't be a lot of penalties taken. But the big thing I think here, Cody, for the Cougars, like Tegan said, getting more shots on net, but also just better coming out of your own end, crisper passes.
So the Cougars will go left to right as they switch sides. The Dells Ducks will go right to left. Face-off won by the Cougars. Gavin Nickerson, they get back to their defender, Joey Palermo. Back in the Cougars zone, tries to flip it up at center ice now. Gavin Nickerson will fight for it over to Cody Rayback, loses the puck. The Dells Ducks take over back in their defensive zone. Coming out to play it is Jared Young, trying to pass it up past the blue line, back in the neutral zone. Fight for it, taken away by the Ducks back in their zone. Number 28 is Joanne Klung, trying to pass it up across down center ice. The Ducks try to dump it in, taken away by the Cougars as Joey Palermo will send it back around boards by the left wing corner. He took a hit too by the boards there, taking it back behind the goaltender, passing it up to the Cougars into center ice as that goes back into Dells Ducks zone, taken away behind their goaltender Alex Radcliffe, set up a scrum here, taken away by the Ducks, passing it up into Cougars territory. Little fight for it. Cougars try to get away as Hunter Schiffman fighting for it, now taking it back, dumped back into the zone around the left wing boards, taken away but laid behind by goaltender Jesse Heise. At the left half wing boards, taken away by Nick Kropp over to Dells territory, trying to make a move there, passing in, no one there, taken away by the Dells Ducks, back by their right wing circle, passing it up over, and that's going to be an icing as a hand error. Jesse Heise, 18:47 to go here in the second period, still 1-0 Dells. Taken away by Nick Kropp over to Dells territory, trying to make a move there, passing in, no one there, taken away by the Dells Ducks, back by their right wing circle, passing it up over, and that's going to be an icing as a hand error.
He's skating fast here against these Dells Ducks.
I have to give Radcliffe a lot of credit there, though. He sealed the inside and didn't allow him to get in for a chance.
And that face-off on the right wing circle won by the Cougars. They try to send it around to the left wing boards. Now the left wing half boards of the Dells Ducks zone. Get it out of there, the Ducks. Now a rush. Number 17, the Ducks trying to get it into the Cougars zone by the right wing boards. And behind Jesse Heise, taken away by the Cougars. Passes it back up ice. Staying in the Cougars zone is sent back in. A shot wide left. Now around the left wing half boards, taken by the Cougars. Up the center ice is Gavin Nickerson trying to dump it in. It's Van Dyke, actually. Van Dyke gets a shot on goal there. Dagnall, save made there by the Dells Ducks as they get it back out. Cougars take it back in their zone, passing up ice to Van Dyke at center ice. Tries to flip one there. No Cougars player there. Is taken away by the Dells Ducks. Number 7, Sean Teskey, behind his goaltender, Jared Young. Keep passing it up ice now, still in the Dells Ducks zone. As the Cougars forecheck aggressive here, Dells Ducks get it to center ice, trying to dump it into the Cougar zone, taken away by the new Cougar, number 25, Sam Zierta. Cougars back down the other way as Hunter Shipman trying to avoid the icing. It does get back there, though, for a call. This will be a face-off in the Cougar zone.
Yeah, when you look at it there, Cody, though, that was a good idea from Hunter Schiffman. He put a check on a player, and you can see him in the bottom of the screen. He saw that he had an opportunity because his team was getting the puck back. The stretch-out pass just missed him, though, and that's what caused the icing. But a good idea from the Cougars.
So we're going to face off in the left wing circle. Sherman Mowry of the Dells Ducks against Sam Zierta of the Chicago Cougars. Won by the Cougars around the left wing boards, taken away by Matt Olson, the new captain of this Cougars squad, as he tries to send it back in front of the benches. Taken away by the Dells Ducks. Pass back over in center ice now. Ducks try to get into Cougars zone. Taken away there by the Cougars, trying to get out of there. Ducks keep it in. Little fight for is Hunter Schiffman in there by the left half boards. Coming back down still there. Ducks have control right now as they try to get back out. Now by the left wing corner boards around ice behind Jesse Hayes. Now in front of Hayes, and the Cougars in there, but the Ducks take it away. Now at the high point, the shot to try to redirect no near the goal there as the Dells Ducks pass it around. Shot back in, taken away by the Cougars. Another shot. Now the Cougars have it, trying to just get it out of their zone. Passes back up, taken at center ice. Dumped back in there by the Dells. Just got by Jesse Hayes on the left side. Now by the left corner boards. Little fight for it. The Cougars take it away is number 25 of the Cougars, Sam Zierta, around the left side by the right wing half boards, taken away in front of the bench now, outside the Cougars zone. Dells Ducks jumping back in, around ice, taken away by Jesse Hayes in behind the net, taken up now on the defender. The Cougars passing to center ice is Peters. Peters dumps it into the right wing corners of the Dells Ducks, taken away by the Ducks back to the right wing corner. Ducks have possession now, passing up ice. A little too much on that. Cougars take it away back to the Ducks now as they try to get it into the Cougars zone. Cougars knock it out of there, taken back by Lomberg. Lomberg has a 2-on-3 here, is coming around the right side behind, looking for a center and pass. He has him. Couldn't corral it though, was number 24, Cody Rayback. Pass over to the left wing top circle. A shot on goal blocked there by the defender. Cody Rayback over there in the left half boards. Dells Ducks try to get out there. They do. Taken away by the Cougars. Willie DeRamus passes it over to his defender, Joey Palermo. Joey Palermo off the penalty box boards. They try to get into Dells Ducks territory. Palermo loses on the turnover. Dells Ducks back the other way. The shot wide left on there, comes back around by the neutral ice, taken away by center ice is Gavin Nickerson. Nickerson into the zone, shot, wrister, save there by Jared Young.
Beautiful shot by Gavin Nickerson there, just entering the center of the zone, shot from the slot.
Cougars down 1-0, still 15:41 to go here in the second period.
When you look at it here for the Cougars, that line of Nickerson, Rayback, that's been the best line so far from them.
Jonathan Dagnall gets the faceoff win in the left wing circle. A shot, quick save made there. Matt Olson sent it.
So the Cougars have won all 4 faceoffs this period and the only 3 shots on goal as well.
Jonathan Dagnall in the left wing circle again. Loses the faceoff. Dells Ducks take it away. Pass it over to the left into Cougars territory now, making the move. Number 17, that's Christian Vela, left wing corner, tries to send it around to the right wing corner. Matt Olson comes up with it, passes it up ice to Van Dyke, couldn't hit him. Van Dyke couldn't corral the puck, passed around are the Dells Ducks trying to get into the Cougar zone. They do, but Matt Olson catches it now around the right wing corner to the left wing corner. Matt Olson flips it up to Van Dyke. Van Dyke passes it over to Kropp. Kropp trying to get it in, loses it, taken away by Van Dyke. Little fight for it, back by center ice. Van Dyke tries to pass it back. Kropp has it now, passes back to Van Dyke. Van Dyke looking up, he has Dagnall on the left, gets it to the blue line. Van Dyke drops it off to Dagnall. Dagnall trying to make a move, loses the puck. Dells Ducks taken away now by the left circle board, sends it around to the right wing corner. Now by the right wing half boards, Peterson passes it up to his Dells Ducks teammate. Taken away at center ice by Dagnall. Dagnall takes a hit there as he dumps it into the left wing corner, taken around by the Dells Ducks now. And a big hit there by Schiffman. Here's an opportunity for the Cougars. Shot for the newbie. That's saved there as Sam Ziatera had a good look at it. Dells Ducks back the other way. A big hit there by Schiffman, his second straight hit of the evening. Schiffman has it, gives over to Kropp. A little fight for it by the center ice in front of the penalty box. And that's the newbie Cougars as Ziatera, Sam, by the right wing half boards. A centering pass, nobody home. Dells Ducks take over by the left wing circle as the Cougars forecheck very strong here. Schiffman sends it back to the right wing corner, taken behind net as Jared Young leaves it for his Dells Ducks teammate by the right wing half boards, passing it out to center ice. Schiffman D-to-D pass back to center ice. Gavin Nickerson couldn't get a hold of it. He tries to run down, and he does get to it by the right wing turner. Centering pass, no one there as couldn't get it in there. Gavin Nickerson trying to get through multiple defenders. He holds on to it, and a turnaround, no look, wide left and high. Cody Rayback now by the left half boards out to the point. Shot, save there, did not get to the goaltender. Rayback whiffs on a pass, turns it over. Dells Ducks turn it back over, stays in the Dells Ducks zone. It's Lomberg down by the right half boards. Little fight for it, getting it out of there are the Dells Ducks. Back to center ice, back to the blue line. Cody Rayback at center ice sends it back in the left wing corner, trying to get a change on the Dells Ducks. They get one man out. Gavin Nickerson making a check there. Right half boards now for the Dells Ducks. Getting out there, they do. They pass it up. They have a 2-on-2 here. Shot, the wrister, good save, Jesse Hayes.
A beautiful save as it's 2-on-2 as the Dells Ducks enter the Cougars zone and get a quick wrister from the right point. Left glove side save, a stick side save by Jesse Hayes. Great save.
Dells Ducks and Cougars will meet by the right wing circle in the Cougars zone. Face off, puck drop, won by the Cougars here behind net. Coming around to the left wing half boards, trying to flip it up. They do get it out of there into the Dells Ducks zone. Nick Kropp chasing on the back check. Dells Ducks take way of it into center ice, passing it up ice now. Miss opportunity there for the Dells Ducks, taken away by number 6 of the Cougars, Anthony Beltrame. Trying to pass it up. It's by the right wing corner. Matt Olson passes over to Beltrame. Beltrame and Lemaski meet. Passing up to center ice, taken away by the Ducks. Kept back in the Cougars zone by the left wing corner boards. Matt Olson now behind Jesse Hayes. Drops it off. Nobody there, though, as the Dells Ducks over there is trying to see the number. Fight for it by the left half boards. Comes out. Taken away by the Ducks outside the Cougars zone. They have to reset, trying to set him back in. Matt Olson dumps it back out to center ice. Back in the Cougars zone as Matt Olson gives over to Nick Kropp. Nick Kropp has a 3-on-2 now maybe as he goes fast. Kropp a wrister. Save made there by the pad of Jared Young. Dells Ducks get it out of the zone. It's going to be an icing with a hand up. No icing. It was tipped. So Cougars try to send it back to Nick Kropp at center ice. Kropp gets into the blue line. Shot on goal and just a little pad save there on the right side. Kept back in around the left wing half boards. A little fight for it down there as two Cougars players are shot almost on goal. Lomberg and Cody Rayback in there playing some good offense down in the zone. Taken away by the Dells Ducks. Kept in the zone there by Gavin Nickerson. Dells Ducks getting up zone now into the Cougars zone. Jesse Hayes is going to come out and play it as he sends it around to the right wing corner. And a big hit taken away by the Cougars and the Ducks. Now both scrum for it. Shot and center and pass. No one there. Dells Ducks have it on the left high circle. The left point sent in. Blocked away a couple times. Cougars take over, have a 3-on-2. They go quick. Matt Olson coming in. Schiffman passes to Lombard. Lombard's shot, no good. Cody Rayback in a scoring goal there. I believe that was Gavin Nickerson as he came in on the rebound on Cody Rayback's shot.
Well, something that's changed here for the Chicago Cougars, that first line normally
Cougars
has
take
Stanislavski
over, have a
as the
3-on-2.
third
They
member
go
of the
quick.
line, but it's
Matt
Cody
Olson
Rayback, Gavin
coming in.
Nickerson,
Schiffman
and
passes to Lombard.
Lombard
Lombard's
with that
shot,
first
no
shot,
good.
And then the
Cody
backhand
Rayback in
to
a
get that
scoring
one
goal.
in. This has been a good change by head coach and general manager Brad Stofers. It pays dividends here as that top line gets the first goal of the game for the Cougars.
Gavin Nickerson getting the score. Leads his team in points. 1-1 tie, 11 minutes to go here in the second period. Face-off sent back to Cougars zone as they go D-to-D, passing it up to the newbie, Sam Ziatera, getting into the zone of the Dells around the left wing corner. Van Dyke tries to send it in there. Nothing there Right wing boards passed up now for the Dells Ducks as a wrister shot. Didn't get to goal, taken away by the Cougars behind Jesse Highs to the left wing corner, passed up, trying to get out of the zone, kept in there by the Ducks, but the Cougars do corral it. Willie Dramus by the left wing circle, passing it up to Sam Ziatera, who trying to dump it into the Dells zone. He still has it, shot wide right as it comes around to the left half boards, sent back in around to the left corner boards, taken by Ziatera to the right corner boards. Cougars trying to get an offensive rush here. Ziatera loses the puck, taken away by the Ducks. Number 14 flips it out of there is David Kaplan, the assistant captain. Back to Cougars zone. Hunter Shipman in front of Jesse Highs will start a rush and turns it over in the zone, and Kaplan gets a shot on the backhander. Jesse Highs in perfect position to make the save.
Wow, that's exactly what we were talking about. Can't happen on the Dells forecheck. Once again, a turnover deep in the zone.
As we get to view again the goal here, you see the first save by Jared Young, but good work by the forwards crashing down, and then a beautiful pass to Gavin Nickerson in the middle to finish it off. But to go really back quickly there, Hunter Schiffman needs to move the puck. There's a guy right in front of you. You've got a defensive player with nobody on him. He's your safety valve. Go to him.
Dagnall with the puck across the blue line to center ice, making some moves, getting in the Ducks zone around the left corner boards, coming in behind the goaltender of the Ducks. Sent out to the right corner boards, now the right half boards, kept in there by Matt Olson as that goes behind the goaltender. Young taken away by the Ducks across in front of both benches, trying to keep it in was the Cougar player. Couldn't see who it was. Sent behind by Young over to his teammate, the Dells Ducks, making some moves there is number 29 on the play, 28, Joan Kling getting into the Cougars zone, loses it. Nick Kropp takes it by the left circle, passes it up, turnover there. Dells Ducks keep it in, shot, save there made by Jesse Highs, not a hard one there as he gets it back in. Another shot taken away by the Cougars. They flip it up back into the Dells Ducks zone. Cougars will get a change. Taken away behind the goaltender, passing up on the long pass. He has a man, number 97, over to number 3 of is Riley Beal, and the goal comes off the boring, so we have a stoppage of play here.
Yeah, trying to look really fast here, guys. Taking a look at the Chicago Cougars, we talked about a lot of line changes, but right now, Coach Stovers has really just been going with his top 2 lines. He's been rolling those 2, as you see right there. Willie Ream is the one who causes it because he got tripped a little bit to take the net off the boring. But all I've seen so far, mostly in here in the second period, is he saw the one shift by the third line, or a couple of shifts by the third line, but the top 2 lines is where he's been going to, especially this line right here of Lomberg and Rayback and Dickerson. It's been a hot line.
And quick shot after the face-off saved by Jesse Highs. So they'll do it again on the left wing circle. Gavin Nickerson will take the face-off against Felix Conrad's captain of this Dells Ducks squad. Face-off won by the Dells Ducks back to the left point. Shot on goal and deflected. Dangerous one there for the Cougars. The no problem there. Another shot saved by Jesse Highs. Palermo sends it around to the right half boards, taken away by the Ducks. Behind now, Jesse Highs, a centering pass, and that puck bounces right in front of the goal. Ducks still have possession, trying to keep it in the Cougars zone. They give it back on the backhand, and shot in front of the goal, and turn around, wrap around, and they're going to call it as the player of the Ducks, I think it's interference on the goalie, right?
Well, that's not what the call is. The net came off the boring. That's why play stopped here, Cody. But here's the thing. They're lucky that happened because that might have ended up being a goal if that didn't happen. I think Highs actually makes the second save here. He does get a piece of it, so the puck never goes in. But that's a dangerous thing. That's one of the worst shifts we've seen from the Cougars, and that's the line who's done the best, and that happens sometimes.
Maybe they're just a little out of gas after all the effort that they have been putting forth, but you have to get that puck out of the zone at that point, or at least away from the net. It can't be just bouncing carelessly in front of the net.
The face-off out of the near dot in front of us, won by the Dells Ducks. Cougars try to attack on the forecheck. Nick Kropp in there with Van Dyke, keep it in the Dells Ducks zone to the left wing. Trying to center pass was Dagnall, and in front of the net, was back in, another shot on it. Good save there by the goaltender, Jared Young.
I'm not sure how many shots on goal that was.
That was in there with Van Dyke, keep it in the Dells Ducks zone to the left wing. Trying to center pass with Dagnall, and in front of the net, was back in, another shot on it. Good save.
3 little whack taps at it, trying to get it past Jared Young. He stands strong.
Face off, Nick Kropp in the right circle in the Dells Ducks zone. Won by the Ducks as they go back by the right corner boards, taken up by the right circle, kept in there by Schiffman on the right point over to Van Dyke. He couldn't hold on to it. It goes round behind the net to the left corner boards, taken away by the Ducks, trying to pass it up ice, kept in there by number 13, locking in, and it hit a player. Dells Ducks take over. Coming in is number 40, Jake LeBauer, to the left center pass, and it's in on the shot on number 11. That's Wyatt Nielsen to the left side, right side of Jesse Highs, the second goal allowed. 2-1, 7:43 to go here in the second period.
Wyatt Nielsen just sneaking one by Jesse Highs after a costly turnover on the other end. Here's that turnover there. Pass up to the left wing. He dumps it off into the slot. Back into the slot behind him, and an open net to the left stick side of Jesse Highs.
That's a goal that's going to make Brad Stofers very mad, because Jonathan Dagnall wasn't skating very hard, and I don't know if he was tired or not. His line did stay out there for a little bit longer than you'd like to see. You got to get off the ice then. You can't stay on. And also the shot was blocked by a Cougar player on that shot too that caused the turnover.
Puck now by the left corner boards, kept in there. Ray back, trying to pass it to Nickerson, nothing going. Palermo made a shot of it, chose not to. Kept in there by Lomberg. Nicholson shot from the point, save made, glove save by Jared Young.
I mean, and again, we've seen two lines. That's it here in the second period. I think Coach can go to that third line. They didn't play bad. I think you got to at least give these guys a little bit more rest. This is more time on the ice than what they're used to, guys.
Gavin Nickerson was stuck in the left circle between Sherman Mowry of the Ducks, one by the Cougars by the left point, trying to get him in by the left circle, around by the left corner boards, kept in there for the Cougars. They have possession, pass over to Palermo on the right point, sent back in with the backhand around the right corner boards is Lomberg. Lomberg moving around, has no one there as his teammate comes in, is 24, Cody Rayback, kept back in there by Palermo around the right corner boards, the left corner boards. Ducks player number 10 trying to get out of there. Ducks have control now on a 2-on-2. Coming in, number 8 pulls it back out by the left circle, getting around. Center pass, Nick Kropp right there. Cody Rayback gets out of there, is back into neutral territory, taken away by the Ducks to their zone, flipped back up to number 23 of the Ducks, Lucas Smith, the alternate, sends it back in, taken away by the Cougars. Nick Kropp, pass up ice to center ice is the Cougars' Lentnaski. He tries to get in around the right corner boards. A little fight for it behind the goaltender now. Jared Young coming in. Nick Kropp takes it away by the left circle. Pass back to Lentnaski behind the goaltender. Cougars trying to get a shot on goal here. Dagnall sends it wide right. Trying to keep it in there for the Cougars. He does as number 6, Anthony Beltrame, around the left corner boards, taken away by the Ducks, trying to send it around, get it out of their zone. Kept in there by, again, is Anthony Beltrame as he catches and passes back to Dagnall by the right point. Out of there, taken away. Now a 2-on-1 opportunity. Number 19 is Felix Conrad. Shot on the left wrister. Save made by Jesse Highs to the right corner boards. Kept in by the Ducks. Two Cougars defenders down there to right half boards. Pass up to the point. Open shot here as he tries to send it in. Blocked away by the Cougars. Kropp passes up to his left. Back to Kropp over there. Lentnaski by the center ice sends it into the zone of the Dells Ducks. He took a hit on that one too as there's a hand up.
That ends up being an icing, I think, is what the call is actually going to be, Cody.
Blocked away by the Cougars. Kropp passes up to his left, back to Kropp. Over there, Lentnaski by the center ice sends it into the zone of the Dells Ducks. He took a hit on that one.
And they got to stay out here a little bit longer. This is going to be an important face-off here for the Cougars. It looks like they did get Gavin Nickerson out there, though, so they do get a little bit of luck and get one guy off.
And a little scrum for it. Dells Ducks win it by the right circle, looking to center it pass to the right half boards, taken away. Dells still have possession. A little fight for the puck, though, in the right corner boards. You got 3 Cougars players in there, 2 Dells. Dells get out, big hit. Cougars take away by the left circle. Coming up is Matt Olson, flips it up into the Dells Ducks zone, taken away by their goaltender Jared Young. Passes behind net. Passes up now to the blue line. Number 17 is Christian Villa. Takes it into the Cougars zone. Whiffs on the shot. Taken away by the Cougars. Cody Rayback on the left, top of your screen, across center ice into Dells territory. Looking for a pass. Sends it back and misses Hunter Schiffman as he was calling for the puck. Turnover. Ducks take it back the other way. They turn over. Lombard skating around in neutral zone now. He passes it up to himself. No one there, though. Taken away by the Ducks as they pass it over. No one over there. Cougars now will have the puck as Schiffman sends it in, misses his man, and Cody Rayback. Rayback will come off for a change. Dells Ducks take over behind their net by the right circle, trying to get out of their zone. Kept in there by the newbie. That's number 25, Sam Ziatara, the new Cougars player for this game. A little fight for it in front of us by the penalty box at center ice. It's one Dells player in there, 3 Cougars player. The Cougars get out of there. Now locking in number 13. Back Godidi pass up ice to the Dells territory, taken away by Jared Young as he leaves it for his teammate Artem Nekrasov. Behind goaltender, little forecheck going for the Cougars, but to no avail. Cougars now in their zone, pass it back up ice to Sam Ziatera. Passes it to Peters. Peters on the right circle. Shot. No good. Save there by Jared Young. Dells Ducks take it back the other way in front of their bench. Dumping it in. Taken away now by number 8, Sherman Mowry. So tries a center pass. Good defense there by the Cougars, but now by the right half boards of the Dells Ducks in the Cougars zone. Passing around to the left point. The shot wide left. It comes off the boards. Now by the right half boards. Get it out there are the Cougars. Dells Ducks will have to regroup. Sent back in to the left half boards. Palermo takes it by the left circle, passes back up to his teammate Peters. A cross ice pass into the Dells Ducks zone, trying to make a move. He does get by a couple defenders, and we get a penalty on that one. Hand up. Chris, I saw you. What happened on that one?
Well, he got taken out at the legs there, and they really had to. Matt Ledmansky makes an incredible move here, gets around the one defender. It's a 1-on-2 right now, and then he gets tripped up there. You see at the end, they either called a hook or a trip. I'm not sure which one they're going to call. Easy call for the official there, though, because Ledmansky almost had an opportunity.
One thing, Teagan, 2 penalties now for the Dells Ducks, none for the Cougars.
And it's called a hook, by the way, there, guys.
Radcliffe will sit in the penalty box. 5-on-4 hockey, power play opportunity, 2-1. Cougars are down, 3:02 to go in the second period. Face-off won by the Ducks. They can't get it out, kept in diagonal by the left circle, around the left half boards, the left corner boards. Sent back, kept in there by the Cougars. Willie DeRamus passes it over to the left circle to the point, shot on net. Save made around Van Dyke, trying to fight for it on the right half boards. Now coming in is diagonal, sends it around to DeRamus. DeRamus sends back on the redirect. Save made there by Jared Young. Dells Ducks get it out of their zone.
Here's where the problems come, though, Cody. They've won the face-off the last time on the power play, but then they couldn't get back into the zone. This is where the issue is on the power play, and they need this power play goal.
1:25 and counting on the power play. Cougars try to send it up ice. Little miscommunication there. Dells Ducks get it back to the Cougars zone. To your point, Chris. Jesse Hayes pulls it back for his teammate. Cougars will get one more rush here. Sending it up to the right circle is Lomberg, coming across neutral ice, passes over on the wrong pass. That might be offsides. No, kept in. There's no call there. Cougars have now a 5-on-4 in the zone. The Ducks, they pass around to the left. To the point is Schiffman calling for a teammate to get some movement, and they're trying to get center it. Back to Schiffman on the point. Comes in and wide right on the shot. Lomberg sends around behind the goaltender to the left half board. Schiffman goes in there, lands a big hit, but the Dells Ducks clear it as that play goes out of play. And we have a face-off here on the point. Comes in and wide right on the shot.
Maybe.
I saw the official around behind the goaltender to the left half board. Schiffman goes in there, lands a big hit, but the Dells Ducks clear it.
Now, guys, you saw that there at the end. But when you look at it for the Cougars, I mean, they're starting to get some opportunities, and they're getting some good players out there.
Face-off won by the Cougars. Palermo sends one in. Blocked save there by Jared Young. Now by the right corner boards, fight for it is Litmansky and Cody Rayback, taken away by Nickerson on the right circle. Nickerson looking for a teammate. He has Rayback behind and Nickerson around ice, sends it up to Schiffman on the left point. Schiffman back by the left boards to Nickerson. Nickerson comes up by himself, dumps up to Schiffman, left boards down to the left circle, back to Schiffman. Schiffman over on the one-timer. Shot is high and left. Litmansky on the rebound, back out to Schiffman. Schiffman to Litmansky on the left half boards. Sends it in, and that goes left wide, taken away by Nickerson. He almost loses it. Schiffman keeps it in by the left half boards down to the left point. Moving around are the Cougars, still 5-on-4 hockey on the power play. Nickerson sends it. Power play is over now. Dells Ducks will get another man on ice, and they get it around. And almost a good pass there. Good defensive play there by Schiffman. Dells Ducks back the other way. Shot on goal. Glove save by Jesse Hayes.
Beautiful glove save. Left side save from the left circle of number 77, Peterson, it looks like, of the Dells Ducks. Here it is again from the left circle. He's just going to stop and fire one out of nowhere, and a left side glove save.
Still Teagan, nothing going on the power play, 0 for 2. Nick Kropp steps in on the left circle for the Cougars. Face-off opportunity here, won by the Ducks. Passed out of the zone. This will go back into the Ducks zone. Chasing is Jonathan Dagno on the back check. taken away by the Ducks. Dagnall gets in there now behind the goaltender of passed up by the Ducks over to center ice. They have a 3-man rush here trying to get it in. Jesse Hayes will take it with his glove and ice the puck.
Yeah, taking it through the slot were the Dells Ducks and kind of just, without shooting the puck, rolled the puck and lost control of it, and it bounced straight into Jesse Hayes' mitt.
So face off on the right circle. Cougars need this one. Down 2-1, 27 seconds to go here in the third. Won by the Ducks, past the right point over to the left point. Sent in on the redirect. Jesse Hayes with a save. Scrum for it in front of the net. Out by the left circle. Van Dyke touched it. We have a hand up and a player down. That's going to be a penalty on the Cougars.
It is going to be a Cougars penalty, and we'll see if we can get another look at it here as the Dells regroup with the puck. 2 quick shots trying to stuff it back in there. It's going to be a tripping call right there on who was that Willie DeRemus on the defensive zone there.
First penalty of the game. 17 seconds to go here in the second period. Down 2-1 are the Cougars. They are in a lot of trouble right now, Tegan.
Cougars are down 2-1, like you said, Cody. Brad Stofers is not happy about taking this penalty because this is going to carry over into the third as well.
Definitely. So stepping in for the Cougars to take this face-off is number 19, Gavin Nickerson. Won by the Ducks on the left point. Now number 7 sending in the redirect. Save made back to the left point. A one-timer to the right point, a little right, but now in front of the goal, and the Cougars able to get it out of there. Save there made by Jared Young. 2 seconds, 1 second, 0. That's going to do it here for the second period. So 2-1 lead for the Dells Ducks. They're going to come back to the third period, Tegan, with 1:43 left on the power play. So the Cougars are going to be another man down, 5-4. There was a first penalty of the game, and they took it in the worst possible time.
Absolutely. They were staying really clean. This has been a problem with this team, is spending way too much time in the penalty box. We've seen it the past few weeks of this season here against a tenacious Dells Ducks team. They finally did what they were wanting to do, stay out of the box, create chances. They had a lot of good chances there at the end on their own power play on the other side of the ice, but now they have to come back into this third period, this fast-skating Dells Ducks team with the 2-1 lead, and they get a minute and change of penalty time as well, almost a full penalty.
Well, the Cougars have faced adversity this season, but I don't think they've been in this position, down 2-1 to a team of this caliber. Dells Ducks only 2 losses on the season, to remind you, were against these Cougars on their home ice. Now they want to come back and beat the Cougars here in the Sears Center, Hoffman Estates.
The Cougars have faced adversity indeed. They've been behind in games, but They have been behind in third periods as well, but we will see how they respond. They've never had to respond to a team of this magnitude before.
We're going to go down to our very own Chris Labosco. He's with Brad Stofers.
Thanks, Cody. Down here with head coach and general manager Brad Stofers. And coach, after that first period, you guys seem to play a little bit better there in the second period. What are your thoughts going in after those first 2?
Yeah, we got to be hungrier. We need to get to loose pucks more. We got to have more support. I think a lot of times we have pucks in the corners and we have one guy on it. We got to have 1, 2, even 3 guys maybe, supporting our teammates, and the will to want to win battles is not as high as I'd like it right now. They want it a little bit more than us, so we need to have more will to win puck races and puck battles, I think.
Is that part of the reason, too? We saw the top 2 lines get a lot of time there in that second period.
Yeah, we shortened them up a little bit. Stanislavski's out, so we mixed up the lines a little bit, and then we shortened the bench a little bit as well. So other than that, that's really the reason behind that.
Yeah, Lomberg getting his first time. And this is a team, too, where you guys haven't really had to make a lot of switches because, 1, there hasn't been a lot of injuries, and 2, the lines have played so well. What have you thought with him having to move up to that top line with Nickerson and Rayback?
I think he's done a good job. He adds a little bit of element of grit. He works hard in the corner, plays bodies. His physical is hard to play against. So he adds that to that line that's highly skilled with Nickerson and Rayback. So hoping for more of that from all 3 of the lines, all 4 lines. But I think that's what he adds. That's what we were lacking a little bit. But we need to be more consistent with that effort in the corners, like I said, and winning races.
And to go to that effort in the corners and just effort, the defensive side at times, there's been a couple of turnovers that haven't been costly yet, but have happened in very dangerous areas. And one of the guys, Hunter Shipman's played well, almost had a costly turnover, though.
Yeah, we got to take care of the puck. That was what that was the focus in the first intermission, is taking care of the puck and playing harder. I thought it was a little better than in the first, but there still was a couple bad turnovers in the D zone. You just got to take care of it. They pressure hard. We got to keep it going up off the walls and use our speed underneath those pucks instead of trying to make plays through the middle through their guys.
And defensively, speaking of Hunter Schiffman, he also had a couple of good plays. He made a big hit over here that actually freed the puck up that almost caused an opportunity. So do you want to see your defensive guys maybe jump in a little bit more than what they have?
I want to see him play an honest game defensively. You know, I think we have a very talented group of defensemen offensively, and they like to get involved. So I'm not going to hold them back. I let them use, you know, their instincts and let them read the play and go when they can, but they just got to be careful. You know, I want them to be honest defensively as well. They are defensemen after all.
Right, so they need to do their job first.
Right, for sure.
All right, thank you, Coach. Back to you, Cody and Tegan.
Thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate it. Brad mentioned multiple times, Tegan, he's short in the lines. Stanlowski went out with an injury, so they're coming in now using these guys more than what they're used to, because we've seen Tegan, while calling these games, they use all four lines all throughout the game, but against a team like these Dells Ducks that are very talented, very quick, attack well, lead 2-1 now, you put Brad Stofers in a tough situation.
We've talked about this before, the depth of this team. All their double-digit scorers, double-digit point leaders. Here, you kind of want your stars on the ice. You kind of need your stars on the ice against this Dells Ducks team, and they're showing you why they're right on your tail at 14-2 compared to 15-0, leading 2-1 heading into this third period with almost a full power play coming into it. So it's really, really going to be a test of this Chicago Cougars team, of their a big test of their adversity, especially losing Tom Stanislavski, number 17 for the Chicago Cougars. That's a big loss for this team, Cody. He has stepped up in big moments for this team. We know this is a third period scoring team. We'll see where this goes, but without Tom, it's really going to be tough for him too.
And that penalty is going to put them in a very tough situation. A minute 43 to go on the penalty kill for the Cougars. They're going to be playing a man down to start that third period. Already down on the scoreboard, 2-1 to the second best team record-wise in this league.
They did get on the board in the second period, as well as the Ducks answered back with another one. So we are at 2-1. Faceoffs at this point in time in the second period was 9-6 to the Cougars. Shots on goal was 15 shots for the Cougars, 12 for the Dells Ducks. So the Cougars are finally out in front, 25-22 for tonight's game, shots on goal.
That's something to look at that you have to be happy about, but not too much to be happy about in that second period, giving up another goal. And after scoring, it came very soon too, Tegan, after scoring that goal. Brad Stofers was definitely not happy about that. One thing, though, shots on goal, the Dells Ducks in the last game, they started the first period leading in shots on goal, and they came back and could not obviously get the game. But this is the first time after a score coming up 1-0 and now 2-1 that Ducks have been leading against this Cougar squad.
One thing I am very impressed with is that Dells Ducks forecheck. Their ability to take the puck away in the Cougars zone and take it back the other way really fast. Whenever they get the puck, whether it be a turnover or a face-off win, they take it the other way very fast. Very fast and strong team in this Dells Ducks.
Chris, you asked Brad multiple questions about what was going on in this game. His biggest point, lowering the lines, keeping it 2 or 3. Tom Stanlowski is out.
Yeah, that is why. And it's unfortunate because these guys really aren't very useless. Actually, while I was walking up here, I saw Joe Dibble, the owner and coach of the Janesville Jets. And I was like, you know, it's a little tough for these guys. They're not used to having just really 2 lines going out there at a time. Because of that injury, they really can't roll their 3-4 lines deep like they normally do.
We touched on that.
It.
We said it every game this season, at least that we have seen. They were playing 3-4 lines deep throughout the entire game. Now it's a different ball. It's a different hockey game because down 2-1, you have to really shorten it up with having those injuries, and now against the Dells Ducks, a very talented team.
Well, and here's another thing to think about too, guys. Who's another guy who hasn't been playing for a few weeks now. We saw him against the Decatur Blaze, but he got injured there, and we haven't seen him since.
As Mike Watson.
Exactly. Mike Watson, the captain of this team. The captain, the C. The guy who wears the C, not an A on his jersey, the C. Hasn't been here to play. He's been at the games, of course, and a vocal leader for this team while he's out. But they definitely miss his play out on the ice. He was a guy, when you look at the scoring table, he's still near the top for the Cougars, and he's missed how many games now?
Yeah, you touched right on it. They miss a lot of guys now, but you can't use that as an excuse. You got to come out and take care of business. Dells Ducks, give them credit. They've been attacking. They're a good hockey team, and they're going to be trouble for the Cougars.
The really good news, Chris, Cody, this is a third period hockey team, this Chicago Cougars team. You look at their third period stats, it's above and beyond their first and second period stats. For some reason, they come out strong in the third. We'll see how they respond to this Dells Ducks team, down 2-1, heading into the third.
Well, we'll see what the Cougars can do. We're going to take a short break. Coming back in a little bit, third period of play between the Chicago Cougars against the Dells Ducks right here on SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night. You've heard me talk about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, but what do the students think?
My name is John Stevens. I am a promotion coordinator at ESPN. Everybody was helpful. Everyone cared. All the teachers at ICB were really there and passionate about their job and sharing their idea and their dream with you so you could achieve your goal.
At ICB in Lombard, you learn the tools that will help you get that first job in the business. Dozens of industry pros teach you how to be on air, produce shows behind the scenes, work digital equipment, and design web pages.
And it works around your time. It's very flexible, and they work with you at every hour and any day they possibly can.
Plus internships, career placement assistance, and a commitment to your success.
I'm living the dream, and I suggest that everyone who has a passion for radio or television or web design, ICB is definitely a place for them to go.
Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to get started. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Just being part of the ESPN team is special, and it's all because of